Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. We got a guest coming up later in the program. We're going to be talking about being financially free. That'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it?
That would be super.
Well, Snowe Saxman will be on the program telling us all about it. Did you know that ancient Egyptians made their pillows out of stones? That doesn't
No, what's
sound
the
comfortable.
point?
I don't know. I've heard of Egyptian cotton sheets, but never Egyptian stone pillows. That just doesn't sound very good. A gang of robbers raided a house in Argentina, then threw a party in front of their victims. The three men ate a meal and danced to the radio before driving off in his car. That doesn't seem nice. A bunch of bullies. In Austria, 7 people attending a self-help seminar had to be hospitalized with severe burns to their feet after they tried the confidence-boosting exercise of walking on the hot coals. Apparently, they did it when they were...
That is such a stupid exercise.
is.
I don't understand
It's
the point of that.
Well, here's the thing that is crazy to me. 7 people had... Wouldn't you think after the
first person, somebody would have said, this is probably a bad idea.
They were glowing red still. They hadn't gotten the layer of ash on the top. The seminar organizers have dropped their slogan, if you can walk over hot coals, you can do anything. So that's their slogan.
That's their slogan?
Yeah. If you can walk over hot coals, you can also ride in the ambulance to the hospital for 3rd-degree burns. That was in Austria. Thanks for listening. We've got a lot of fun stuff going on today.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend. Saturday, January the 28th is Fancy Rat and Mouse Day, AFRMA.
Fancy Rat and Mouse Day?
Yeah. Data Privacy Day, National Kazoo Day, National Seed Swap Day, not speed. Thank a Plugin Developer Day, and Visit Your Local Quilt Shop Day.
Okay.
Sunday, January the 29th, is Curmudgeon's Day. Do you know
What's a curmudgeon?
Somebody that's like crotchety and cranky.
Oh.
Free Thinkers Day, National Puzzle Day, Seeing Eye Dog Day, Thomas Paine Day, and World Leprosy Day.
Okie dokie.
If you know somebody suffering with that, don't give them a high five. Their hand might fall off.
Is leprosy even still a thing?
I don't know. Is it? I've never met anybody with leprosy, but it's probably out there still somewhere. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Anyway, a lot of stuff going on this week. This weekend, I'm gonna celebrate with my fancy rat and mouse. Not exactly sure where I'll find one of those.
John and Heidi.
It's a new year, and many have made resolutions. Have you? If your resolution is to quit smoking, I want to help. This is one of the biggest resolutions every year. I met a hypnotist that's been able to help people with this one. He can send you a Stop Smoking Hypnosis CD program that you just listen to, and it's designed to help you quit smoking. It's available at a discount for our listeners right now at radiosavings.com. Get the tobacco-free CD program for just $40. That offer is available right now at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Tattoos, they're getting more and more common, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
And society is kind of accepting them more. That lets people express themselves more freely. But that doesn't mean people still don't do stupid and potentially regrettable things with ink. In England, 20-year-old Courtney Lee may be a good example. She just let her boyfriend talk her into getting his name tattooed on her face.
Oh.
Yeah. Or, her possessive partner puts it, she's been branded like Heinz Beans.
Oh my gosh. Heinz beans?
Yeah. Over there, like Heinz ketchup, they have beans, like baked
Do they?
beans. Oh, yeah. I've had them before. They're good. They're just like regular beans.
Do we have Heinz beans here?
I've never seen them here. I don't know.
Huh.
The word Ryan now sits above her left eyebrow.
Oh my gosh.
While Weibo is on the other side. Nobody else will ever be able to look at her without seeing Ryan's handiwork.
Oh my gosh.
Weibo Wibberley, who goes by the name Weibo, is a 23-year-old tattoo artist who claims he has persuaded 39 ex-girlfriends to get his name tattooed on them.
That's just painful.
Most did not go for the face, but apparently legs, arms, fingers, backsides. He also said, I've got a Courtney's name on my hand, but she's the only ex whose name I've done. Of course, he didn't mean to call her ex while they were there because they're still together, but maybe it was just indicative of what's to come. Explaining why he got the tattoo, he said, I do it because he's paranoid and he wants to have me branded. He thinks it'll put other men off. Yeah, other men,
will.
employers, potential things in your future. That's just such a bad idea.
Sweetie, you need to get rid of this guy.
Yeah, tattooed your face, and he's got 39 girlfriends now that have his name tattooed on them. I think he needs to see a psychiatrist or somebody. I don't know. He's got some weird things going on in his head. Anyway, I got nothing against tattoos. I just think that was a bizarre thing to do right there. Coming up, we've got some more fun things, your moment of duh, your brain on drugs, and much, much more on a weekend edition of The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
And this is your brain on drugs. The side of the freeway is not a good place to stop your car to take a nap, especially not a good idea when you're driving a stolen car and transporting drugs. Yeah, but that's what Donnie Lee Amos did and Cassandra Albritton. They were on a main Maryland highway. After an hour-long standoff that shut down the highway during rush hour, the couple finally was busted on drug and auto theft charges. They may never have been caught if they hadn't run out of gas. That's why they stopped there. So they should have stopped and got gas. They might have just gotten away with it if it wasn't for these kids and this pesky dog. Mm-hmm. Did you watch Scooby-Doo when you were a kid?
I loved Scooby-Doo.
I did too. I don't know why I just thought of that. I guess because of the way that story ended, even though there was no dog involved and no kids. I did too. I really enjoyed that. And I haven't seen that in years. We have all the technology at our fingertips. I bet we could probably find episodes of that and watch it. Saturday cartoons, Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. Kids, this is what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. You may know people with the reputation of being as tough as nails, but take a listen to this one here. Where do we have it here? Rebecca Lee, owner of Finger Tricks Nail Salon, and 2 staff members were putting acrylic fingernails on 2 customers when fire broke out on the rooftop of the building. But the 5 women opted to not exit immediately.
What?
Even though they were being warned by security guards, you should leave now. The women said, no, that's all right. We've got these nails almost done. We want to get them finished. Want to make sure that they get their nails finished. Anyway, happy with their polished nails, the women left more than an hour later after the fire had been put out.
Wow.
So they were in there getting fake nails put on during a blaze on the roof of the building.
Yeah, I would have left.
I think so too. Yeah. If my nails were half done, even though I don't get my nails done,
I don't get my nails done either, but if I did,
we'll finish this later when the building's not on fire. I'm just saying. It's not a good plan. Coming up, we've got yours Scoop of the Day.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your Scoop of the Day. A new study says if you do this on your email, your chances of getting a response drops to 28%. You know what it is?
What's that?
Start your subject with a lowercase letter. So if you don't capitalize your subject line, 28% of the people are going to open it. A new study says when you send an email, there's only a 34% chance you'll get a response. That means 2 out of every 3 emails you send are going to go dangle out there somewhere forever. So they're saying you want to do everything you possibly can when you're sending that email to make it look as intelligent as possible. So make sure you don't have any typos. I get typos in the subject lines all the time. And then when you click on it, you look and it's always spam. I'm like,
I'm terrible about answering emails. I get emails and then I do what the email asks me to do, but I don't reply and say, hey, that's done.
I'm here. Wait, what are you doing here? You said you wanted me to come over. Yeah, but you didn't respond. I had no clue you'd be here. Hey, if you want a good night's sleep, it could be time to sleep apart from your spouse. A lot of evidence that says sleeping apart is gathering popularity too. In the U.S., the National Association of Home Builders say they expect 60% of new homes to have dual master bedrooms this coming year.
That's really sad to me. I think that's
I like snuggling with my sweetheart over here. I mean, even though she keeps opting for bigger and bigger and bigger beds, pretty soon our entire bedroom's going to be nothing but a mattress.
We've got a double king.
It's huge. I can barely reach over and touch where she is. I'm like, you're in here, right? Did you leave?
We have a king-size mattress. It's perfectly normal for a king-size.
I liked it when
mattress.
we used to have a twin mattress. That was the...
We've never
No, we
had
didn't.
a twin.
It just felt like it, that's all.
You know what? Now, though, it's uncomfortable for us to sleep in a queen.
It is.
I don't like to be
Yeah.
in just a
But-
queen.
Well,
It's
because now we're
awkward.
stuck in king mode.
yeah.
I know. We'll go sleep in a hotel and we can't sleep now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need 2 rooms. That's what we need. Hey, consumers worried about the origins of their clothing, coffee, chocolate. You might want to focus more on the origins of their Bible. Take a listen to this. Chances are good that your favorite Bible was printed in China. Last year, printers in China produced 12.4 million Bibles, making China the world's biggest Bible publisher. So that's kind of interesting for a communist country to be the world's biggest publisher of Bibles. They're also saying, hey, we'd like to make some money, so we're going to print these and sell them. Health researchers say they found a troubling link between higher consumption of rice and type 2 diabetes. That's not good. A disease that
it's
in
not
some
good at all.
countries has become an epidemic. Further work is needed to probe the apparent association, and diets that are notoriously high in sugar and fats should remain on the no-go list, they cautioned. So our son likes
Our
rice.
son eats rice like from a trough. He eats so much rice.
He does. He loves rice. Only about 6.5% of U.S. adults meet physical activity guidelines while working. That figure represents the proportion of people who meet activity guidelines only from work and did not include those who would meet guidelines if leisure time exercise was also counted. So at work, 6.5% of Americans are getting the full amount of exercise needed. Do you think we get that much at work?
I would say that we do not get the exercise
we
that
don't?
we need at work. Right.
How about if we add our leisure time? Do we get closer?
No, not right now.
I think we're doing terrible. Yeah. Coming up here in a moment, we've got a special guest going to be visiting with, who are we talking to? Oh, yeah, Snowe Saxman. Going to be talking about being financially free. That is on the way on this weekend edition of the John and Heidi Show. We also have your fun facts coming up and a lot of other fun things all on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Radio advertising works. When it's done right, it works even better. There are many things you can do to get a better response, and shouting sale really isn't the best thing, believe it or not. Did you know that when you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable? If you're trying to get people to remember your company, consider a jingle. We work with one of the very best jingle companies in the business, and we'd love to use music to help you grow your company. Learn more and hear examples at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. We've got a special guest joining us right now. Snowe Saxman is a success, wealth, and women's expert, 2-time Amazon best-selling author, also known as the Money Oracle. And we're going to get some advice from her about being financially free. Right now, let's say hello to Snowe. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with us. First of all, I love the story. Let's talk about your bankruptcy to 6-figure story and let everybody know how that all came together.
Yeah, awesome. So I graduated from college with a degree in accounting. I got my first job at Walt Disney World as an entry-level accountant right after college. I thought I had landed the dream job so I could become the chief financial officer of a big corporation. That was my goal. But within a few months of working for someone else, I realized I was not cut out to work for someone else. I wanted to control my time and my money. So I quit after 9 months. I went back to graduate school to get my master's in business, and I started my very first business, doing small business consulting, helping small businesses with their taxes, with financial planning, forming corporations, and all their accounting needs. And one of my first clients was my husband, and we ended up starting from a bad investment. We invested in a construction real estate company, and the investment went bad, and it left us with 3 construction perm loans in my husband's name that we had to actually build. And so by the time I was 25, we were millionaires. We had a multi-million-dollar construction real estate company. And then, of course, by 2006, the economy took a turn for the worse, and we began getting sucked into the lie that there was not enough business, and we just basically made this subconscious decision to stop showing up for ourselves, to try something different, but nothing ever stuck. And as the economy continued to get worse, we continued to have to sell off everything, and we just really began to believe the lie that there wasn't enough money and that we were going to be stuck and there was nothing we could do, and it just perpetuated into us living on food stamps, filing bankruptcy, literally losing every single thing that we had, literally every single thing, the clothes, furniture, and literally we had to sell everything off. And one day I just got frustrated and tired of being in that position, and so I just threw myself on the ground and cried out to God and asked him what he was waiting on to bless me, and he told me that I was not waiting on him, that he was waiting on me because of my limiting beliefs and fears around money. And that's when I began my journey of reprogramming my mind and reinventing myself and getting to the place where I am today, where I'm earning multiple six figures.
That's awesome. Now let's talk about the importance of the money mindset and how it shapes our actions.
Yes, absolutely. Well, obviously, the experience, the expertise, and the knowledge was not a problem for me because by the time I was 25, I was already in a multi-million-dollar company that I had helped to build. And so obviously I had the education, I had the background. So the fact that 10 years later I could not redo that again and I was struggling and stuck and we were living on food stamps, it made me realize once I did have my aha moment that my thoughts were causing this. It really helped me to realize the thoughts play such a big role because I had already done it once. And why could I not, even if I couldn't get back to a multi-million-dollar company in a certain amount of time, why could I not get out of bankruptcy and food stamps and literally not having enough money to feed my children? And so I realized that thoughts were playing an important role. And once I began to consciously think about what I was thinking about, and I realized that every way I handled money was fear-based, every thought was fear-based, and I began to change that, I literally began to see the finances improve all around us. And I began to see that my thoughts were actually contributing to what was going on around me in the natural. It was tied to what I was thinking. And so as I began to replace those limiting beliefs with more empowering ones, literally I began to see things happen in our lives. We got out of food stamps within 1 year. I had hit six figures, and then within less than 2 years later, I was back to multiple six figures, and it really all happened because I just changed the way I thought about money.
Now, we're sneaking into that time of the year where we're going to have a lot of listeners that get a tax refund. Now, you're saying you should not take that and just pay bills. What should they do with it, and why shouldn't they just pay bills with it?
Yes, this is one of the biggest mistakes I see entrepreneurs make, and I've literally helped hundreds and hundreds of people start businesses. I've filed hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of tax returns, and so I see the mistakes that people make, and they want to take the tax refund. They usually do one or two things. They will usually go out and spend money on things, like TVs and new furniture and things that maybe they don't need, and then they're just in this never-ending cycle of every year waiting for that tax return and never really getting ahead. And then the second thing I see them do is just pay off bills. And so either way, whether they pay off bills or they buy some things that they maybe don't need, they put themselves in a position of a never-ending cycle where every single year they're just waiting for this tax return. And what they should do is take that money and invest it. Start some type of small business. Because of the internet today and because of opportunities like we have in network marketing, it's so much easier to start a business today. But the average tax refund is actually several $1,000s, and so there's enough money to even start or look at starting a more traditional type business with the online world if you're going to do consulting or teaching or coaching or something like that. And so instead of just paying off the bills and putting yourself at ground zero again, take that money, create more money with it, and then pay off your bills and then buy yourself some things that you need. And so that way you're increasing your income every year instead of just going at the same income level and just waiting for this annual tax refund to kind of boost you temporarily.
Again, our guest today, best-selling author Snowe Saxman. We're talking about finances. So what are some of the best practices people should do each week as it relates to their finances and their budgeting?
Yeah. So another big mistake I see people doing is they really don't understand where they currently are with their finances. They really don't have a complete budget which shows them every single bill that they possibly could have, things they don't think about that they need to plan for, quarterly payments, like if there's an insurance payment due quarterly or yearly payments, they don't work them into their monthly budget. They also don't account for unexpected bills like a car repair, which most Americans don't have an extra $400 for unexpected bills like car repairs. And they also don't know exactly how much money they actually pay out, including, eating out and gas and toiletries. And so the biggest thing that people really, really need to do is get everything out on paper, including all their debt, because what we focus on really does grow, going back to that mindset, going back to the way the brain is designed. The reason that people who write down their goals achieve them compared to people who do not, and they've proved this in major university studies, is because literally when you write something down, your brain turns on this system that says, hey, this is super important, let's pay attention to this. So by bringing awareness to all of your bills and everything you have, then you can take a look at what are some ways that I can increase income, and maybe what are some ways that I can temporarily decrease things, not getting into a lack mentality where you just start getting rid of everything and now you're like, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, but instead just making responsible decisions temporarily so you can increase your income and then continue to look for ways. And once you know where you stand financially, checking in on your finances weekly is so important. Again, going back to what you focus on, growth, but also because things happen week to week. Unexpected bills come up that are small, that are big. Maybe the kids have a field trip, or the quarterly bill is now due this week. And so it's super important to stay on top of your finances so you're not caught off guard, and so you can get out of the cycle of the end of the month comes and you don't have enough money to pay for everything. But because you're not managing your money and watching it weekly and seeing where you are, whether you have a business or not, is really contributing to this struggle with finances. And if you're a business owner, it's absolutely necessary to review your numbers. I review them every single day. That's how important reviewing your numbers are, especially if you're a small business and especially if you're growing. But the same thing applies even if you don't have a business.
What are some things people maybe can be creative about to have a little more prosperous 2017? This is still the first month of the year. They're saying, hey, I didn't do it right last year. What can I do to get it right in 2017?
Yeah, so my biggest thing is I'm a huge proponent on creating more money. That is my biggest thing. And everyone can create more money. Everyone has a gift that they could monetize. Today with the internet, giving us the freedom and flexibility to work a part-time business around our life, including a full-time job, including children, because you can work from 9 o'clock till midnight and you can access people all over the world who would still be awake. And literally the internet is giving us this non-traditional way to do business today, where I'm having clients who are building businesses, big businesses, six-figure businesses, in nap times and when children go to bed because of the internet. And you can literally teach anything. And so a consultant is someone who teaches. That's all a consultant is. So if you have a gift, if you have something that people always come to you about, if you have education in a certain area, the world is literally limitless with the amount of people that you can connect with and start a business. Unlike it was for me 20 years ago when I started my first business, I was, stuck in the local city and having to build and then grow from there because the internet was not what it was today. And so today you literally can access way more people to build it at the times around the times that you can work. And so you can literally teach anything. If you want to step into a business model, network marketing is the fastest way to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time when you have a direct selling business. So that a direct selling business is a business like Mary Kay, where you buy the product and you directly sell it. And it's like a retail store, except you operate it. Because you're dealing with a product that people buy, you get cash instantly every single time you sell it. And so that's another opportunity for people. It takes less of a financial time commitment to start a direct selling business. And so that's something you can do on a very part-time basis. You can also sell things. People will be surprised at how much they have in their house they're not using and they can sell and create extra income. And if you really want to be smart, sell it and start some type of business. Take that money and invest it in a business so you can continue to increase your income.
Very good ideas. Now, for couples that fight about money and finances, what tips do you have to share with them?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is going back to bringing awareness to where you currently are and sitting down and going over the budget, and both people being, open to listening to how each other operates and handles money, because we naturally operate and handle money differently. Every person can do that in a different way. But then we also have things from our past that can affect the way we handle money. And so, for example, my husband and I am more of a saver and a manager of money because that's my natural gifting. I'm, the chief financial officer, the accounting background, tax background. So I naturally tend to save and manage and look at it from a different point of view than my husband. My husband tends to be the spender, ironically. He's more of a spender. But the times that I want to maybe save money too much, his wanting to spend more balances me out, and then vice versa. When he wants to spend too much money, I balance him out with no, let's save. And so I think it's important for couples to understand then naturally we're going to deal with money differently, and that usually there's a balance. Usually two opposites can actually work well together if they understand meeting in the middle. And let's maybe spend a little more, because I do also believe that we need to enjoy life. And if you are just pay bills, pay bills, pay bills, you're never going to enjoy your life. So go to the movies, once a month. Take yourself out to dinner once a month if that's all you can do, because having things that feel good around money will actually help you increase money instead of just going into a zone of lack where you're cutting out everything and I can't eat this and we can't do that. And I know that because that's what happened to us. We can't afford this, we can't afford that, we're never going out to eat, we can't do this, we're cutting all the bills, and literally because what you focus on grows, that actually grew. Instead of our focus being on how can we create more money, and then the creating money grows. And so it's just super important to sit down and talk about these things, but also understand that you may handle money differently and be aware if there's an unbalanced way of handling money. Like someone who just wants to save, and never spend and thinks that, the bottom is going to drop out and I have to be prepared. That is unbalanced. And someone who just wants to spend all the money and rack up a bunch of debt and be totally irresponsible is unbalanced too. And so there is a balance, and couples really need to find that balance and listen to each other and maybe meet in the middle in some areas, because that's really where you're going to find the balance to be able to move forward in a healthy way.
Before I let you go, I got to find out about the Financially Free program. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Financially Free is my new signature annual event. It's an event that I designed because I really want to help people step into their financial destiny and create the income and impact that they were born to have. Because obviously I do understand, being broke, stuck, full of shame. I understand having to bring my business into alignment with my God-given purpose so that I could be excited and passionate about what I'm doing and love what I'm doing. And so through Financially Free, I'm literally going to teach the 7 steps that I went to go from bankruptcy to multiple six figures in less than 2 years, and how to do it in a way that doesn't make you sacrifice anything that's important to you, like your family. And so Financially Free to the end of this month, January 28th, we have amazing gifts and bonuses. And just for checking us out, you get a divine gift bundle. We have 2 guest speakers, one on credit, one on savings, financial planning. And so it's going to be everything you need to know and understand about finances so you can step into that financial destiny.
Now, where can I go to find more information on that?
You can go to SnoweSaxman.com/financially free.
Very nice. Snow, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
And again, our guest today, Snowe Saxman, and she's a best-selling author. If you'd like to learn more about any of the things we talked about, I'll give you her website. It's SnoweSaxman.com, and it's spelled SNOWE. So make sure you put the E in there, otherwise you'll go somewhere else. Again, SnoweSaxman.com. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
When is the last time you changed the air filter on your furnace? Now, don't be embarrassed. That happens to a bunch of us. The furnace filter should be changed often. This will help your heating and cooling system run more efficiently, and it'll even extend the life of your system. Now, there's an easy way to make it happen. Filter Easy, a new subscription service that delivers your size filter right to your door on the schedule you choose. It's easy. Filter Easy. One less thing to worry about. Learn about a special offer available now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The British candy company Cadbury was the first to offer Valentine's Day chocolates in a box. Cadbury. Now they're known for their eggs, aren't they? Or is that just me that knows them for the eggs?
I love Cadbury eggs.
I could go with or without, really.
My gosh.
Yeah.
I can only eat like one a year
I saw
because
that
they're so sweet, but I
already
do
have
love
them.
them.
Have you seen them at the stores already?
I saw caramel ones.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
That's not the right kind?
No, they're not.
Okay. Well,
I saw
never mind.
some caramel
I'm glad
ones.
I was going to get you one. I'm really glad I didn't do that now. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The vegetable okra is added to a soup or stew to make it gumbo. So if you add that, then apparently you go from vegetable soup to gumbo. Didn't
Okay.
know that. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Scientists have actually managed to inject a spider gene into a goat's egg, resulting in a goat that gives milk containing silk proteins
Yeah, that's a
that
good
can be
idea.
spun into super strong thread. It's called a spider goat.
That's a great idea.
This is a terrible
Nothing
idea.
could possibly go wrong with this experiment.
Who's that creepy creature in the corner?
It's a yak.
Don't look at him. It's a spider goat yak. We were just talking about yaks before. All right. Couple of fun facts for you this weekend.
John and Heidi.
This is Richard Lustig, the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. They do all the work. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, to give yourself the best chance of winning, go to RadioLottoPool.com and join today. Again, that website is RadioLottoPool.com.
John and Heidi.
Want to lose weight, Heidi? Is that a New Year's resolution to lose weight?
Yes.
Are we still doing that? Are we still on that?
The fact that you're making me work weekends, I'd like to lose about 300 pounds.
Me? You just trim me from the neck down? Or would that be from the neck up? Would that? I don't know. Either way. The eggnog and all of that stuff we got back in December. You know, we got this this excess weight. A lot of folks trying to lose that. Well, I have a list from the book The Fidget Factor. Figures based on somebody weighing 150 pounds. Lighter people would burn fewer calories doing this. Heavier people would probably burn a few more calories doing this. But if you want to just get in some calorie burning things during your regular day, changing the position in your chair, like Heidi's doing right now, you'll burn 1.9 calories per minute. If you keep changing the position in your chair too much, that might actually not be a good thing. Crossing and uncrossing your legs.
I do that all the time.
Calories burned per minute?
I'm constantly fidgeting.
2.3.
Huh.
How about this right here? Twirling a pencil. This is a pen, but I think it would probably count the same. 1.5 calories burned per minute. Humming loudly.
I'm constantly just singing.
Calories burned per minute, 1.4. Folding laundry, 1.9 calories per minute. Clearing the table, 2.7 calories per minute. Walking to the TV to change the channel rather than using the remote, 2.4
This is
calories
ridiculous.
per minute.
Why are we reading this list?
These are ways to get in some additional calorie burning things. Playing with your kids, burn 3 calories per minute. Surfing the net, what? 1.4
Yeah,
calories?
this is ridiculous.
And my favorite on the list is having a pillow fight. You'll burn 4.8 calories per minute. So let's go have a 1-minute pillow fight.
Okay.
I'll meet you back in the studio in a bit. All right, couple of fun things for you on the John and Heidi Show Weekend Edition.
John and Heidi.
It's a new year and many have made resolutions. Have you? If your resolution was to lose weight, you're not alone. This is the single biggest resolution every year. And every year, millions of people try and many fail. I met a hypnotist that's been able to help people with this one. He can send you a weight loss hypnosis program on CD that you just listen to, and it's designed to help you reduce the cravings. It's available at a discount for our listeners right now at radiosavings.com. Get the weight loss CD program for just $50. That offer is available now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
There are a lot of kinds of television: comedy TV, reality TV, news, educational, all those different things, game shows. How about gas TV? Have you ever found yourself at a gas station watching television?
No.
I have.
At a gas station?
They'll have it on the pump. There's not everywhere, but there's some places. All over the country, eventually, they're going to have mini TVs at the pump where you'll be able to watch while you fuel up. They'll show news and weather and local shows. Like I said, I've seen it before. It's not everywhere, but most include ads for items in sale inside the convenience store as well. A spokesperson for Outside Networks says, one of the companies that makes the device, says you've got 4 minutes on average of a customer staring at that space while they're pumping gas, so why not use it? Mm-hmm. So I think the one that I saw was like Gas Station Network, GSN maybe?
I have no idea.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what it was. Pump TV? I have no idea what it was. I don't remember, but I saw it when I was traveling. I was like, hey, look at that. It's like a gas station TV channel now. All right, coming up, we've got some more fun stuff. We're going to head to Detroit in a bit.
John and Heidi.
A teenage girl from Detroit, Michigan, checked herself into a drug rehab center because she's addicted to water. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good thing.
19-year-old Donna Casera has been known to guzzle down as much as 6 gallons of water in a day. An addiction to water may sound funny, but doctors say her problem is very serious. Drinking that much water puts a big strain on your heart and kidneys and could lead to death.
Really?
Her water addiction caused her to have problems in school, to lose friends, and even lose a job. Finally, her parents laid down the law, either get into rehab or get out. She'll be doing well now that now that she's in this program. She believes that she'll be able to beat her habit. Now, that would be a tough thing because you still have to have water to live.
You still have to have water. Yeah, it's not like you can give it up cold turkey.
But she was drinking 6 gallons of water a day. That's a lot of water.
That is a lot of water.
All right. Coming up, we've got more on the way on the John and Heidi Show Weekend Edition.
John and Heidi.
It's a new year, and many have made resolutions. Have you? If your resolution was to quit drinking or to kick a drug habit, we want to help. Our friends at Keystone can help you determine the best program for your particular needs. This is something that really matters to me. My father was an alcoholic. He lost his battle at age 49. That's just too young. If you're searching for help, I hope my friends at Keystone can help you find the help you're looking for. Call 844-204-1055. That's Keystone, 844-204-1055.
John and Heidi.
You know those friends that you love, and then you hate, and then you love them again, then you hate them again? They are the reason your blood pressure skyrockets. Anyone who's ever had a frenemy can attest to the fact it's the worst type of relationship. Mm-hmm. Just when you think you can't possibly hate them anymore, they do something wonderful that makes you love them. And then when you love them and you think, oh, I can't believe how awesome you are, you're daydreaming about how awesome they are getting hit by a bus because then they'll do something else. You know, it's a roller coaster that is volatile to be in a relationship with a frenemy. And scarily enough, experts say these evil entities make up about half of our social networks.
Yeah.
In these types of ambivalent relationships, what does that mean? What does ambivalent mean? That's a pretty cool $5 word.
I think it means
there.
toxic.
All right. In these types of ambivalent relationships, they actually are really bad for your health, both mentally and physically. Blood pressure of these participants spiked whenever they interacted with this frenemy, or if the frenemy was even nearby because of their potential interaction. Like, oh no, there he is. I'm going to have to, I don't want to talk about the election again. I'm over that. I don't want to have this argument.
Yep.
Frenemies are just as bad for us. Even the awareness of their close proximity forces your blood pressure to skyrocket. This is from yourtango.com. So I don't know what that is. Must be a website. But frenemies, here's the cool thing. Click unfriend. Mm-hmm. I did that finally. Well, I went to do that, and he had already unfriended me. But I had a frenemy that we were constantly arguing, and just it was ridiculous. And my wife over here just rolled her eyes even thinking about the guy.
This guy,
he would go out of his way to try to pick fights.
Was incredibly toxic.
And he was so rude and mean. And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Horrible.
And when he
human being.
He was attacking me, and I was like, that's fine. Because I'm a big old teddy bear, and I can laugh it off. But he was starting to attack my friends. So now friends of friends, where they don't even know this guy, and they're like, who is this guy? Why is he doing this? I'm like, I don't know. So I went to unfriend him, and he unfriended me, and I can tell you this.
Which is wonderful. And how happy have you been since?
It's been awesome. I don't miss him at all. So I'm like, I wonder what he's up to today.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
No.
Coming up, we have some good news that is on the way. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news. Now, this is a different kind of good news. This is just good news that makes me happy. I don't know. You're going to say, that's stupid, but I think it's funny. You ready for that?
Sure.
A couple of ladies from Australia had a craving for some good curry. So they decided to have some delivered all the way from India. Yeah. Isn't that cool?
How on earth would
Rachel? Well, I'll tell you. Rachel Kerr placed an order over the internet for some curry from her favorite Indian restaurant, and it was in the northeast English city of Newcastle. 4 days later, Kerr received the meal atop the Sydney Harbour Bridge, some 10,850 miles away. Rick McCordall, who manages the restaurant's website, said that when he saw the order come from the other side of the world, they thought, we got to fulfill this. He hopes the delivery will make the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest fast food delivery ever. The existing record was set in 1998 when a pizza base was sent from New York City to Tokyo, and that is only 6,752 miles. Theirs was 10,850 miles. That's a big delivery. So what kind of a tip?
It wouldn't even be any good by the time it got to her. So what on earth was the point?
It would be if it's being brought to you properly. So you couldn't just dump it in a bucket and shoot it out in the mail. That wouldn't work. But yeah, if it's delivered properly.
What is curry even?
I don't know. I'm glad you asked. I have no clue. Never had it. Sounds delicious though. We should have that for dinner tonight. What do you think?
If it tastes the same after traveling 10,000 miles, I think I'm probably going to pass.
Best curry ever. Anyway, this is, again, a true story from Australia. They had it delivered from India, 10,850 miles. I wonder what the delivery charge would have been.
I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
Here's your curry. That'll be $8,000, please. Plus tip. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us on the John and Heidi Show.